Macca, we spoke before the game about Bracknell are going to be a good side despite their position in the league. They proved to be, but another important win and backed up last week's win.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right. We spoke before the game. We said how organised Bracknell would be, and that they would play up from the back with plenty of confidence, and they caused us lots of different problems. And it was evident in the game that they were very comfortable in possession and wanted to try and break us down and pick us off with some very clever rotations and some forward play and linking off the front men. So, from that perspective, it's encouraging that a clean sheet is massive for us today. Clean sheet, 3 points on the table. Momentum continued, but not our finest performance, but a really gutsy performance. Times where playing out from the back and being confident to have the ball, and then recognising when to change tempo and be a little bit more dynamic. Yes, we weren't brilliant in the final third in terms of creating clear-cut chances, but we got the ball in some good areas, caused them problems. We made them defend, and set pieces as always. We're a trouble.
Half time then, it was I think I described it as a game of chess the first half a little bit, but what was said at half time? Was it not stick or twist, but was it, how did you approach it with the players to kind of put a bit more emphasis on what we needed to do?
So we tweaked our press a little bit. We tried to cause them a little bit more problems by winning the ball off them a bit higher up and put their progression play out from the back under a little bit more pressure and try and turn the ball over a little bit higher up the pitch. And we talked about how we could do that and utilising the wingers on the opposite side to squeeze in so we could jump players from midfield, and it worked quite nicely in the first 15-20 minutes of the second half. And we also spoke about how we can move the ball with a little bit more fluidity and penetrate the back line and try and get players in advanced areas. And there wasn't a huge amount wrong. It was just a case of we weren't causing them too many problems. And it was one of those games where chances were few and far between, but both defences I felt cope with the play quite well, and both teams' press was quite good at times as well. So it was very much like a game of chess where it's tricky and a little bit edgy. Both teams are down the bottom end of the pitch and don't want to kind of give out too much. And I just felt that the goal was always coming. We always believe that when we put the ball into the box, we've got players that have got a real desire to go and make that first contact, and they're understanding that if they can't get a clean contact on goal, then they'll knock it back to somebody who's in a better position. So that's worked really well from this season, and it's continued today. And great for Vidi to make the first contact in the box and be followed in by Bretty, and Bretty's shown that he's someone who likes to put his head on the ball in there as well. And fantastic, a really really good performance from the boys. The players that have come on off the bench as well have made real impacts, bringing Scarfi on and seeing him being really brave and helping us see out the game and winning those headers and clearances. And really really positive feeling today. 3 points in the bag, 1-0 win. Sometimes they're the best ones, and a clean sheet. It's our first of the season, and we can't complain at all.
Brilliant. You described Brett's goal, a lovely goal from Bretty, but we then had some sort of gilt-edged chances to put the game to bed, and maybe a bit more clearer decision making. We would have. Were you worried those chances might have come back to bite us in the last sort of 5-10 minutes, as it has done in recent weeks? Well,
that's always in the back of your mind, just because of how games have gone and how many points we've lost from winning positions over the course of the season so far. But because I was relatively calm on the side, I felt we dealt with things pretty well. Yeah, I know it's strange to say, but we're relatively calm on the side because you could just see how focused the boys were. It wasn't a case of at Yate where we kept taking a step back and we were a little bit kind of underwhelming. We weren't proactive enough, but today, even when we had the opportunity to smooth play out and carry the ball, we would take it into the corners and running the clock down in clever ways and utilising our kind of better game management. We had a meeting on Tuesday about the importance of recognising what we're good at, what we need to improve on, but also some key things that we need to do both in and out of possession. And the discussions went really really well, and we reinforced that with the players today. And it's a fantastic result. It's a great feeling to come to our ground and keep a clean sheet and send our visitors back in after taking 3 points off them. And that's hopefully that's set the tone. But we've got to come back here on Tuesday night against our rivals just up the road and put in another gutsy performance, and that's what we'll be asking of the group. Real gutsy performance.
I just want to touch on, you say our home here, Theatre of Trees as I call it, Bolitho Park. How important is it we bang on about it a lot, but to make it a fortress, to make it horrible for teams to travel a long way down to us? Because in theory, if we take care of business here, we're going to be relatively okay. So is that we got 2 wins from 2, is it a case of really focusing on making this place, the fans are great today, and putting all that into the mixing pot to
Absolutely. You know, we're really fortunate to have a fantastic following. You know, through thick and thin, the fans are fantastic. They always give us our support. They're always vocal from the sides, and you know, they're the heartbeat of the club. And well, we have to utilise this pitch and where we're located. You know, every team that comes here has got a huge journey to get here. It's a long one. It's an early wake up on a Saturday, as we know, because when we've gone to them. So we've got to make sure that, you know, first 10-15 minutes of the game, we've got to make sure that we're doing everything within our power, either with the ball or without the ball, to try and zap that energy out of their legs and make it feel like a really, really long journey and one that's taken a lot of energy out of them. But I think that's what we've pretty much done the last couple of games, is where we've used a lot of possession. We've kept the ball away from our opposition. We've asked them to run around a little bit and chase us and go after us a little bit. And we've come strong in the latter stages of the game. And second half, you know, I felt really, really comfortable. I felt like it was only a matter of time before we got the goal. And yeah, it's fantastic. You'd like us to create a few more clear-cut chances so Rocky can get on the end of things and kind of show his prowess in front of goal. But you know, today it was all about getting 3 points. And we've got the bonus of clean sheets. I'm really buzzing for Matt, because he's made some fantastic saves for us this season. He's got us out some real holes at times as well. And
had a bit of a chilled afternoon.
Absolutely, but well, you know, fantastic. He didn't have to make a massive key important save, but no doubt he was ready for it. And you know, his distribution was really clean today. And I'm really proud of the boys. It's a fantastic effort. Everyone's dug in, and it's a nice one to be able to walk away from here after a tough test against a decent opposition that, you know, it's only a matter of time before they pick up their form. And start picking up points and climbing the league, because they've got some very good players and they're a very organised coach that keeps them playing some decent stuff. So it's only a matter of time for that. So in that regard, it's a fantastic result and a clean sheet to boot. You know, everyone's really, really happy with that, and we go into Tuesday night and try and keep that momentum going.
Buzzing. Thanks, Macca.
No problem. Thank you.